Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's that time again, folks. Time for the world-famous motion picture Retribution Power Hour, presented to you by the illustrious Evening Brothers. Take it away, band.
Yeah, we're good. We're recording.
Welcome to the Motion Picture Retribution Power Hour. I am your evening brother, John.
I am your evening brother, Lincoln.
And I am going to be Brother Preston.
Okay, we have 20 minutes. Preston he's been very kind to us and he's given us time. We are talking about Tron.
We're talking about Tron Ares.
Here's what Tron Ares is. I'm going to take the next 42 seconds and
I'm
going to say Tron Ares as follows. Michael B. Morbius, as he is a guy in the grid. He learns that he gains sentience. He loves rain. He goes through. He'll die every 30 minutes. That's his terminal illness, just like Michael
29
Morbius.
minutes.
29 minutes.
Just like this podcast episode.
Oh wow, that's thematic.
Yeah, it's very thematic.
Okay, well that gives us another 9 minutes. That's
Someone
amazing.
told me it should be called the Impermanence Code.
So he.
That's the beautiful thing about life, Lincoln.
There's the NCOM is run by two sisters, but one of them's dead, and they don't tell you that until a minute later. And they're looking for the permanence code that'll keep everything here alive. Bad guy wants to make forever war. Michael Morbius,
Morbius learns to love.
He learns to love. He loves Depeche Mode so deeply. And that's the movie. There's a big fight. End of movie. Everything's going to be okay. They have the permanence code. He's one of those shitbags who travels Europe for a while, learns about ska, I assume, and then he's going to come back and really ruin everybody's life.
Yeah. Okay.
Tron Ares.
Okay, Tron Ares.
So much shit to
First
talk
of all,
about.
I think this is a cards on the table moment.
Okay.
It's like how in an Adam Sandler movie you can tell whether or not it's bad based on whether or not he's doing the voice.
Yeah, is it the
In
hair?
this, you can tell whether or not it's bad, whether or not the most dirty, stanky, best synth music you've ever heard in your life.
Oh, yeah.
If that's playing, the movie's good.
The movie's good.
And
if anything else is happening.
to the nanosecond.
Literally.
The second they'll just, it's just such a it's like greasy. It gets in my bones. I love the soundtrack. The second the soundtrack stops, the movie falls apart.
Yeah.
There was a moment where the entire time I was like comparing the soundtrack from this movie to the soundtrack of Tron Legacy, because how can you not?
No, don't talk about this movie.
Shut your mouth. And what I was like, man, like, the raging music is so good, but there's never any quiet moments that I feel like the soundtrack in Tron Legacy creates so well. And then a few of those quiet moments sort of happened, and I was like, I don't think we need any of those quiet
because
moments.
all the quiet moments are.
It's just the most plinky piano music you've ever heard.
Okay, I have a feeling on this movie, having now seen it twice. This is a movie that starts really strong with some stinky bass.
Yeah, it really does.
Every following second that isn't doing Tron stuff, it gets worse and worse. Like, this is a movie that starts high and ends so
low.
I think the specific moment that it really, really fell apart for me, and I think you saw me physically react, it's when they're in the car. So, this movie has two protagonists that it runs out of time for.
Right.
Literally and metaphorically.
Yes.
So you've got Evie, who's the sister who's alive, and then you've got Ares, who's Jared Leto, Michael Morbius, who's dead.
Inside.
Yes. And the whole time when Evie was on screen, I was thinking why? I feel like she's not the protagonist. I don't have this feeling of wanting to see what she can accomplish. And it's wait, because she's not. Because the movie purposely really, really, really intentionally centers Ares, and Ares can't think, and he doesn't have feelings until midway through the movie.
Right, when he decides he has feelings.
And then he becomes but he's the protagonist for most of the movie, and so you feel like she's a side character that suddenly just becomes really important to the plot.
Absolutely. Also, we're in the car in the parking lot recording right after seeing the movie. I don't know if we said that out loud.
Oh yeah, we're in the car. We have to record fast.
Cards on the table. This movie is dog shit.
Yeah, it's bad.
In almost every form. And I think the biggest problem with the movie is that I realize this as the movie I think also realizes this. The fun of a Tron movie is to be in Tron world. Yeah. And so this one, the idea is Tron comes out into the real world and it's oh, that's cool. We get one good kind of chase scene out of that. And then the movie is also what do I do now? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what
Well,
this
Now we
is.
go to one Tron world, and then we go to the other Tron world, and then we go to a third Tron
And
world.
all of them are fucking
But-
And
dog
none
shit.
of them are interesting. None of them
are
care.
Well,
inhabited.
how is this a Tron Legacy sequel? And
Don't say legacy.
No,
You're not allowed to use legacy.
I say legacy sequel in both senses of the word. It's a Tron sequel that managed to kind of decanonize the only good Tron movie? What? It ignores the events of the only good Tron movie.
Yeah. Well, kind of. I mean, it kind of does and it kind of doesn't.
No, it does.
It does,
I mean, it
because
sort of fits.
It's sort of like it acknowledges the only good Tron movie in the fact that it like wafts just a little bit of scent.
Oh, there's
You know,
a
it
lot of
just
scent.
wafts a little bit of
I'm
good
not-
Tron in front of your nose,
Look, I'm
and
not-
then takes it away and dumps it down a garbage disposal.
Like you do to a bad dog.
I'm not saying that this is a good sequel to Tron or Tron Legacy. I'm saying
good.
that it doesn't inherently like negate Tron Legacy.
But it kind of does because
But it doesn't not.
I was under the assumption that in Tron Legacy, the grid that he goes to is the 80s grid, but
Okay.
it's been
Right.
updated
No,
over
that's
time.
fair. That's a good
and
point.
they go back to the 80s grid, and it's literally the 80s grid, which like
But I think you can make the argument that it's a backup.
it's like
of
that.
the
It's like
80s
that
grid
snapshot
before
of
it
that
got
80s
We
grid.
don't have
modernized.
fucking time to get
But
bitch
why did we go
sweaty.
there? It looks so bad. It
Okay,
looks so. It's so hard
That's
to look
what
at.
we need to talk about. They go back to the shitty looking one.
They go
They
back
go
to
back
the,
to the 80s.
They never go to the good-looking Tron
They
scene.
don't.
And the best part of Tron Legacy is the fleshed out world.
Yeah.
It's the thing where like you're interested to see how this culture develops.
Yeah.
This one has the audacity to be like, we're gonna go back to the 80s one. Already a stupid idea. And nothing's happening there.
And the only other Tron world, the Dillinger grid, the enemies grid, they go to one single room. They leave the room once
No,
and
they
go
do the
straight to
little
the
jet
portal.
ski
There's
thing,
one
and
No,
then they go to the
that's what I'm
portal.
saying. They leave the room once, go straight down, hit a beeline. You don't have to wait for the cycle to reset. You don't have to
True.
wait for the power to turn on. They go to the thing. Okay, and that brings me to the other issue I have with this movie. I have so many. This is not
Yes,
only
the
two,
one other
one of two
issue.
issues.
You like Depeche Mode more
This-
than he does.
Did you get the sense that every time this movie introduced a problem that felt like a movie's worth of problem to have to solve, it got solved
There
so
were
quickly?
never any stakes.
No.
It was like you're driving down the highway and you see this exit and you're like, oh, this could be the movie. Like the movie could be just Jared Leto living in the real world.
Yeah, sure.
And that's like the first thing. But then no, he has a 29 minute limit. And then you go, oh, it could just be them in the Dillinger grid trying to get out. And yes, would it just be Red Tron Legacy? Yes. But
Tron Redgacy.
is that all? Would that have been enough for me? Also, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Would it, if it was just about a rogue AI that decides to attack the Earth? Yes.
Sure. Yeah,
But
if Tron was
literally-
all evil trying to kill us.
It was better.
Pixels. Sorry. Somebody had to
Okay,
say it.
this does have a pixels quality, and I was a little bit worried.
There was a moment where you're looking down and you see the light cycles like arcing through the town, and in the back of my brain, the front of my brain was like, "That's fucking cool,"
It
and
is
then
cool.
in the back of my brain, I was like, "That should have been what pixels."
That's what
looked like.
the Pac-Man scene should have looked
Which I hate that I had to go there.
like. No,
Yeah.
it's true. There is a pixels quality outside of that also that I was like a little bit worried that Jared Leto was gonna Hubert into her sister, and just be like,
Oh yeah,
be
yeah.
like
I
a
could have
living
seen that
version
kind
of
of
her
thing
dead
happening.
sister.
I never was worried about that. I thought for
great.
sure there was going to be a love interest, which they didn't rule
I think
out.
there might have been.
No, there is a really, really weird, uncomfortable transition where
There's
they
a
fall back
couple of
against a
them.
car and it looks like they just had sex, and I don't know what to do with that.
Good old street sex, right in the middle of the road.
So confusing.
I don't think I ever actually said the moment that falls
Oh, yeah,
apart for
no,
me.
I'm sorry. What's
It's when
the-
they're driving in the car. They just got out of the Dillinger grid because the Dillinger grid was literally a 5-minute problem that couldn't be solved. You know how it took Tron Legacy an entire movie to get through that problem.
Well, they were all stupid, not Jared Leto with his cool, nasty, greasy, shitty hair.
It's when
Why would you program a guy with hair like that?
Jared Leto starts talking about how much he loves Depeche Mode, and
Yeah.
it becomes this like very Disney, very TV kind of experience
Yeah,
all of
yeah,
a sudden, and the nasty, fun, dark synth stops and the like plinky like reality show
it's not
music
the synth.
starts playing.
The synth is going, and then it turns into the Depeche Mode song.
And then it turns into
then
piano.
It becomes the
Yes.
plinky.
Yeah, then it becomes like the plinky like,
It's like this
Sarah
downgrade.
Bareilles like in the arms of the angels.
De-escalation.
And Jared's like, living's pretty badass, isn't it?
Okay, that's my other thing. This whole movie is about like how interesting it is to be like alive and what life is.
Don't you
And
wish they
first
showed
of
us
all-
anything interesting about being alive?
First of all, it frustrates me that their whole thing is like, what if AI was cool though? Don't worry about it. We should use it more. And second of all, I feel like it's so frustrating to have them be like, isn't life amazing? And their whole point is like, it sure is hard and good sometimes. And you're like, yeah, a 6-year-old knows that. Like that's okay. This is the other thing that I feel like we need to talk about, and we have another 20 minutes because we've had 19 minutes. I'm sorry, because we it's a 29-minute episode now because it's thematic. It has to be.
I honestly I can't argue with that.
Yeah, thank you. The other huge problem with this movie, like the most infuriating problem with this movie, is that it is written for 8-year-olds.
Yeah.
The number of times, like there is a direct quote from this movie. They're talking about the permanence code, and then she finds the permanence code, and he goes, "This looks like a double helix," and she goes, "That's because it is a double helix." And then he goes, "What is this?" And she goes, "If this is what I think it is, it's the permanence code." And it's like, are you fucking kidding me?
Every time there's like somebody coming after them, or there's like one of the characters has a realization.
Oh my God.
They say it like 4 fucking times.
Yeah.
So many
Like,
times.
oh, is that a recognizer? Oh, it's Athena. Athena's coming. Wow, what is that? Holy shit, it's Athena. Athena's coming. Oh my goodness,
not
she's
even
in a
exaggerating.
recognizer.
They also
Holy
do
shit.
that with all of the like pithy quotes from the movie.
Okay,
I'm just
pithy
like
quotes.
imagine if Casablanca he has the flashback with the
Where he's on
woman
that sick ass light
when he's
cycle.
on, when Humphrey Bogart's on the sick ass light cycle and he goes, "Here's looking at you, kid," and then he wakes up from his flashback off his motorcycle as he's at the piano, and the first words out of his mouth he goes, "Here's looking at you, kid." And then at the end of the movie he goes, "Here's looking at you, kid," and she looks at him and says, "Here's looking at you, kid," and then they both turn the camera and say, "Here's looking at you, kids." That is the level of repetition that happens in
No, it's
Tron
true.
Ares.
It's true though. Also, burrito guy. Every line of
I
his
hate him.
Oh,
I
and
hate
none
him
of
with
them
all
are
bad.
with all of my heart. I hate him.
He doesn't do anything the entire movie.
Yeah.
doesn't do a
He carries
single
some
thing.
boxes. They're doing the whole hacking thing, and he's just like sitting there.
Yeah.
I clocked it this time around because, again, I can't stress this enough. I've given so much of my money to Tron Ares. I clocked it this time around, and the movie would be literally exactly the same without him.
He was not there.
Nothing is changed. It would be better.
Zero. It
You
would
know,
be better.
you know how in
we would only have to listen to one. Well, we would have to listen to one less shitty character's
Yeah,
dialogue.
exactly. And like the sisters, her loneliness would feel like even more heightened because she's in this like Alaskan wilderness.
Actually
yeah,
alone.
but they have to follow tradition. Don't you remember how Tron Legacy had Sam Flynn being followed by an incompetent little asshole who just
Yeah.
makes pithy jokes the whole time?
Makes jokes and
Why,
burritos.
why are we talking about Tron Legacy like it's some revered text? Like, Tron Legacy isn't even that good,
Legacy
but it's so good in comparison to this movie.
Can you believe?
I disagree. I think it's a great movie.
Can you
but
believe that the 80s Tron exists and Tron Ares is the worst Tron?
the thing, the point that I knew that this was going to be a shitty movie was
Opening credits.
No,
As
opening
soon
credits was
as-
No, they were
badass.
cool.
They were awesome.
No, as soon as they had like Ares' footsteps walking around,
Mm-hmm.
and there's just that little bit of extra like douche, 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 every single footstep ruined the whole movie for
That's
me.
a weird. That's a
weird
weird hill to
moment for
die
I
on.
know that's a very strange. No, it's. I mean, one of not the biggest problem with this movie, but every time he was walking around, all I could think was, "Holy shit! Why is he walking so fucking loud?"
He does walk extremely loud in this.
And it doesn't. It's not like a Darth Vader like loud footstep that's like, "Holy shit! He's like intimidating. This is scary." It's
No.
just dumb.
It's just
Yeah.
like, dude, you are not 1,000 pounds.
Yeah, the movie, it is so... I just can't get over how many times it could have started being a movie.
Yeah.
And basically the conflict that is the main thrust of the movie is the last, like, 15 minutes, which isn't... And the way I'm saying that you might think, oh, that's just how, like, third acts work. But it's not. It's like it's conflicts that each get separately resolved that do not lead to each other.
Right, and are not interesting, most of them.
They resolve a conflict and the characters look at each other and go, "Okay, let's do this next." It's like a video game. It's like a kind of poorly designed video game.
There's so much just running around and dicking around to nothing.
Oh,
there's
yeah.
so much. We got to go over here and do this thing, and got to go over here and do this thing.
And neither of the protagonists end up affecting the end of the movie at all.
No.
They just run away. They're a glorified distraction. And some people in a computer are just like, oh, let me just like nuke the system.
It is
by hacking.
It is wonderfully funny that the whole time Encom and Dillinger systems both have the capacity to just drop a nuclear bomb on each other's digital grids.
Good.
Which also the idea of Tron as like an Arthurian warring kingdoms of different colors and like
so cool.
When they say I'm gonna go hack Encom and then they send soldiers to go infiltrate. That is so cool.
That was a really cool scene.
And
that was
I
take that back. That was a really cool scene right up until the fight at the very end. The fight at the very end as they're escaping.
Yeah, it's kind of lame.
Oh,
dog
yeah.
shit.
Well,
But, like,
it's I don't know
Ruined it.
what it is about
But
the shot or
the
the
breaking
editing.
in, so fucking cool.
Breaking in is great. The end of that scene is genuinely funny, and I'm not sure why.
Is it Jared Leto's expression when he like flips
Okay.
his head back and looks up at the sky?
That is funny.
One of 3 times he does that in the movie.
My other thing is he, especially early on, he has this little visor, which is stupid because it's like a full helmet that doesn't catch the bottom of his beard. And B, it's dumb because it's like always flickering in and out of showing his face, and it's like just don't have it.
But
It's
isn't
either
it,
have the helmet or don't have the helmet. Don't be like, oh, I'm dark and mysterious, I have a helmet. Oh, until you conveniently have to see my emotionless
Until you need to
face.
express literally any
is it-
non-emotion.
but isn't it this wonderful direct like A/B test? Didn't you feel your stomach drop a little bit every time you saw his face?
Oh, anytime.
It was like we could see him without a face and with a face, and every time it was like without a face, with a face, you're like, ugh,
Yeah, it is
I
really
hate that.
challenging.
He was significantly better anytime you couldn't see
See his face, yeah.
His costume is cool.
His costume's
He's
really
got big
cool.
shoulders. I like that.
I like that he has a triangle disc.
Oh, I love that.
Okay,
he's a triangle disc.
I like the triangle disc until it like lights up and it goes pointy.
Okay,
totally ruins it for me.
I
hate
kind of
it.
like the pointy ends.
Really?
I like the point. I like the
hate
fact
it.
that they're retractable pointy ends.
That's cool.
I
Yeah,
like
that's
that he
very
can be pointy like a real regular triangle, or he could be a fucked up hexagon.
Right.
I think it looks so cool as the fucked up hexagon. And then every time it's just like, oh, I'm just a little 3-year-old baby waving around my triangle
Like,
toy.
well, everybody's got a big
I
ass
hate it.
fucking circle. It's
hate
not. We're not
Yeah.
working with
Well,
complicated
except for
shapes here.
Athena, who has an octagon.
Does she have an octagon?
She does have an octagon.
We gotta see it again.
I gotta go see Tron every second. I gotta pay another $18.96 to go see this at a fucking Regal again.
Oh yeah, it was really worth the $8 more than I would have paid at Cinemark
Crazy.
because they played what Pepsi ads instead of Coca-Cola. Okay,
I guess.
that's not relevant.
Sort of our own little bone to pick.
Oh, there's so many things
My thing is that
I hate about this movie.
every choice that was made from a creative perspective,
Yeah.
was made the cheap and easy way.
Yes.
Like there's at one point
Yes.
a character throws an orange to another character and it's a fucking CGI orange. You can throw an orange.
Yeah, oranges are not expensive.
They're not expensive. They're not hard to throw. They're not hard to catch. It's possibly the easiest shape to catch. It's a ball. That's why we make balls for kids.
And given that this movie is for kids, you'd think that they would know this.
You'd think.
The whole movie just feels very, like, I kept having this thought that the movie just feels very flat and very generic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And
there's
then every
like,
once in a while, there's the most kick-ass shit you've ever seen in your
Yeah.
whole goddamn life.
And,
Yeah.
and the score comes in and you hear that like overdriven bass that's like maxing out the speakers and you're like, yes. But is that just the power of analog synthesis?
Yeah.
Are we
no,
just-
it was like the music was like probably the only thing like telling me like when I should be like excited.
Yeah.
And that was like the entire movie. I feel like it never
Yeah, it doesn't add
it
up
was
to
great,
anything.
but it like the bass was great, but it never
It-
quite like it doesn't really make it a soundtrack.
It
though.
wasn't enhancing it, it was like defining
Yeah.
it. It
Yeah,
was like
that's
true.
declaring that this is a scene that you need to care about
And it
because
was-
Yeah.
It was just declaring it so loudly that I agree.
that I agree, yeah.
I was like, you're right.
Which
this
is
cool.
yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Two things. It is also cool. The last fight is fun because he has a little disc and he has one of those kick-ass sword.
That you can jump off of
that
their
you can
little
jump
light
off
beam.
of.
That's
I like it.
that's
I'm
cool.
into that.
It's-
Two, Evan Peters looking incredible. written horribly, acting
the
terribly.
villain?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the
the
bad guy.
villain's actually pretty great.
He looks great.
He looks great, and I like how he gets more and more unhinged. But also, it's not his fault that Alien Earth came out and had a much better model
Look.
of a boy genius CEO who's willing to kill people to create immortality by using artificial intelligence. Like, it's not their fault that someone else pulled the rug out from under them and did the better version of that idea.
His is probably the best performance in the whole movie.
It probably
I would say.
It's
is.
definitely my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I just can't get over. I don't know. I don't.
Everybody else feels very flat and emotional. Like Eve, when she's talking about how lonely she is, it's like so fake. And just not
I just want to know who Eve is.
Yeah, it would be well, and they present this for a fleeting moment. They present this idea of she's the CEO that everybody sees as this badass, and she's actually like a normal person, and that's an interesting thing to look at. And then they don't.
Yeah, that the movie doesn't. It's not interested in her at all.
No.
Which
it
is
doesn't care.
like, again, I think it's fair to compare this with Tron Legacy because it is a Tron sequel.
Sure.
I don't think Sam Flynn is the most interesting guy,
I would say perhaps the least interesting guy.
but I think the movie gives him the benefit of the doubt of like
Yeah.
we're gonna like explore how this person's feeling and we're gonna let him like react and be in response to the events of the movie in a way that Eve just doesn't get. And to Eve's credit, I think she might actually be more interesting than Sam Flynn.
Could have been.
But never gets a chance.
No.
Never gets a chance to be a person in a movie about how cool it is to be a person.
Right. Which is so funny because Jared Leto comes out, Michael Morbius is printed in a 3D machine.
Yes.
And he steps out and he is immediately like, Rain. I'm so intrigued.
Just
by
like Tears. It's basically Blade Runner.
Blade Runner. It totally is. But it's just this really weird moment where he comes out and you're like, for not even a second are you supposed to believe that he's like a robot man with no feelings or no emotion.
Yeah.
He's immediately like, I wonder what Rain is like. What's the outside world? I want to be where the people are.
I want
umbrellas.
to see them dancing. The fireflies. First of all, the fireflies don't look like fireflies. in
No,
real
Oh,
life.
they look
insane.
awful.
They look like robo
crazy
fireflies.
bad.
And it's like, if I was a robot and I saw those, I'd be like, these suck. What are these?
It looks like the background in one of those like 3-hour YouTube videos that are
Yes.
like cozy ambiance.
Yeah.
1992
It looks
or whatever.
like some poor artist was in charge of like, okay, you're gonna CGI a bunch of fireflies that are gonna fly around within the grid.
And they gave him 20
and they
minutes.
made the coolest thing ever. And then they were like, actually, let's just move these outside.
just put that not
and
in
he's
the
like,
grid.
well, they're not gonna match. They're supposed to be on the grid. Like, whatever, it'll be fine.
What were they,
The
red?
8-year-olds aren't gonna notice.
Make them yellow instead of red.
There's also like just visually speaking, the big room that they go to the one time forever is there's something about the way that they shoot when they're shooting like if somebody's face and behind them is the window.
Yeah.
It always, every single shot looks like it's you're supposed to have 3D glasses on.
Yes.
And I can't quite put
Yeah.
my finger on it, but there's something that my eyes can't
There's-
look at.
For me, it was more of like a claustrophobia.
Yeah,
Every
sure.
time they were in the Dillinger grid and they were in the control room, I was like, my body ached for them to leave the room.
And do something.
Because the room's tiny.
It's
It
also-
is the size of like a biggish car
Right.
inside there.
We are in the room right now.
We are in a room that is more spacious. This room has more. This 2-door Honda Accord we're in has more access to the outside world than their like grid control room, in which they're supposed to be able to like observe and control the whole Dillinger City,
That's because
Techno City.
I
there's-
hate to. I actually kind of liked that.
Okay, sure. There's never any point where you believe that the Dillinger grid or any of the grids have anything going on outside of
Yeah.
what is currently being seen.
Right then and there.
There is
Yeah.
zero development to the world,
Uh-huh.
to the grid, which makes sense for the Dillinger grid because it would be like highly regimented, that kind of thing.
But we don't get to see that either.
We also don't get to see that. But the Encom grid also doesn't have anything going on.
No.
Preston,
And-
there was a climbing corner. There's about 8 frames of the Dillinger guys climbing the side of the Encom grid.
Yeah, how'd
Would
they
you
do?
Would
Welcome to Preston's Climbing Corner.
also find you funny.
That was a Find Your Funny melody. I'm sorry, everyone. I'll do a better one. I'll do a better one.
You're
I'll
really
do a
gonna
better.
waste
Be
another
quiet. Be
30
quiet.
seconds of
Preston's Climbing Corner.
I'm into that. That was significantly better.
How was it?
It was pretty sick. I don't know how realistic it was, but because it was like breaking in.
His
to, like-
expertise is not informing us at all.
I enjoy. Hey, that might have been the best part of the movie. Was them breaking in to the NCOM grid.
Yeah, a Tron heist movie.
They're like,
That'd be sick.
like I love how you can see like their devices like cutting through the code and like all the pixels growing back together as the last guy like yanks his leg through.
Oh, it's good.
That's
So
awesome.
fucking
It's good
cool.
stuff.
Yeah.
They spent all of their budget on that one frame.
Yeah.
Okay, John, how much time do we got?
We have... Oh, God. We have exactly 4 minutes left.
Foreman, we have to talk about the fact that Jeff Bridges stops talking and starts just making sounds.
My number one issue with this movie is that Jeff Bridges never looks at Ares and goes, "So you want to be alive, huh?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, that's some biodigital jazz, man."
That is a genuine problem. He does not have any fun lines in this movie.
No.
Yeah, it's to the point that I'm not joking. He stops talking and starts just going like,
There's a bit where Ares is like, I only need one go around, and he goes, I love that.
I love that as a guy who uploaded himself to a computer so I could live forever. I love the value of human life.
It's crazy. There's also like, there's no reason for him to be there. I don't quite know what he is.
I don't know either.
Why he's aged.
Why did he age?
Like, we've gotten better at the technology that they
Yeah.
fucking tried in Legacy and did a terrible job with.
Yeah,
I don't
and
know
this
why
would
we
also-
wouldn't
this would-
employ that right now.
This would make more sense because he's like a digital guy, so he doesn't have to look perfectly realistic.
You already have the shitty model. Use it.
Use it. I wonder, so like, either he's like the copy of the program that existed for the whole time and he got backed up, so he doesn't remember the events of Tron Legacy. Because if he did, he would go, dude, I already did this. They're called, what are they called?
ISOs.
ISOs. They're
Yeah.
called ISOs, and I made one.
Right.
And she still lives.
No,
she
he
didn't only.
He didn't.
Did she
They
just
showed
dissolve
the
after
system
20
created
minutes?
it.
I assume that's where they
That's
got
precisely.
the permanence
It's
code,
fine.
right? Is the ISOs?
Is the ISOs.
That's the idea.
But I want to know about the Why don't we talk about the ISOs? I love the
none of them
ISOs.
is
I know.
about the
They
ISOs.
show
I agree.
a picture of Korra with some coordinates, and that would be the most interesting part of the entire movie.
They have the fucking audacity to set up a sequel
What if
that's
the
way more
what
interesting.
if the permanence code was we have to in the real world go find Korra?
That would be amazing.
That would have been so cool.
But she's probably not 29 minutes away from the head base where they print the guys.
That was their choice. They didn't have to make it 29 minutes. Could have been 29 days.
Yeah.
Like there's
29 days
29
later.
hours.
yeah, they like every off ramp this movie could have had. It doesn't take.
I also like that they get little Green Goblin flying machines to float around in.
I
to get
like
somebody.
the Green
Great.
Goblin flying
Pretty
machines.
great.
Okay, what's
I
our
think,
time?
I think my biggest issue with this movie
Minute 41.
is that both of the protagonists are like it seems like they were setting her like Eve up as well for this whole like, oh, life is impermanent and that's what makes it so great sort of thing. But then neither of them ever have to confront their own impermanence.
She should have
Yeah.
died. I agree.
Or
She
Jared
should've been killed
Leto.
horribly. Actually,
Jared
okay,
Leto has to sacrifice himself.
Yeah.
Jared Leto should have died because he becomes
Exactly.
impermanent and he immediately gets absolutely
Thank you.
T-boned by a fucking bus.
Thank you. Thank
Yes.
you.
And then he's fine.
That
He
should have
gets up
been
and
the
he
whole
just keeps
thing. Is
running.
like,
Yeah.
oh, I understand life now because it's
it
impermanent.
would have been on
and then he has to
brand
sacrifice
because it would have been
himself.
another arc that perfectly completes within like 20 minutes
It would
of
have
it
been
starting.
incredible if right before the third act, Jared Leto just dies and
Dies?
he's never seen it again.
Then we have to solve the problem without him, which they did.
Which they basically did.
Okay, this movie is the cinematic equivalent of when your eyes hurt after looking at a computer for too long.
Got it. Got it in one, I think. Thank you so much for listening to the Motion Picture Retribution Power Hour. I have been your evening brother, John. And my love for Depeche Mode cannot be put into words.
I have been Brother Lincoln, and a wise man once told me it should have been called the impermanence principle.
And I have been your illustrious evening
He's
brother,
drawing it out, this bitch.
Preston. Yeah.